Each year, a good number of students come to India to achieve their academic goals, leaving their family beyond the travel miles away to experience a new culture. But how different is to live in India compared to their own country? Here is the story of John Eric Matunga, a president of Congolese community and international students who is going to relate us how easy or hard it is to live as an international student in India.
I'm Jean-Eric Matunga, a student from the Democratic Republic of Congo. I've been in India since 2008. I've been a member of the Congolese Community Student Association in Pune, and I am actually the president, and I've been participating in a lot of initiatives regarding international students.
Something about your country?
The Democratic Republic of Congo is an African country. It's located in the Central Africa, with a population of 70 million people, approximately. And by its size, it's the second largest country in Africa.
So why did you choose to achieve your academic goals in India?
Well, back in the days, India was the perfect destination for IT. Since I wanted to be an IT engineer at first, so that's why I chose India. It was the best destination for my career.
Okay, more than European countries or European countries?
Well, when you look at the quality of the education, according to the price, India was an advantage for me. Coming to India was cheaper and I was getting a good education.
Okay, so what do you find exciting here in India?
In India, what excites me in India is the people and the culture. I mean, India is one of those countries where you find people with a lot of difference. When you go to the religious background, the culture, it's like a mix of different people in different countries together with such a peace that it's just amazing. It's amazing.
Okay. India, is it a good destination for international students, especially African students?
To that question, I will say yes and I will say no. Why yes? Yes, because in India you get a good education at a very cheaper price comparing to Europe or America or certain African countries like South Africa. I will say no because in India most of the time you get those small discrimination actions from people that can easily hurt you if you're not strong. But if I have to give an answer with the overall, I will say yes, it's still a good destination for international students.
Okay, which kind of discrimination? Can you give us some example? Which kind of discrimination?
Well, basically I'll just go with racism. At some point, in some areas, you're not given the respect you deserve, or people are not looking at you for what you are, but they mostly look at your skin color. And at some point, it's even a disadvantage for you just because you are a black person. And people look at you like, okay, I cannot do this for you, I cannot do this service for you because you are not Indian or you are not light skinned. That's one of the biggest problems people face around here.
So how different is life in India compared to your own country here?
Well, life is quite different. I mean, the culture, basically the culture is different, the food is different, the weather is different, and the people are different. But I believe that I've adapted and adjusted myself very well. So today I don't really feel the difference anymore. So it will be a bit difficult for me to really tell you, to point out all the differences. but of course there are differences.
Okay, so I tried to talk with some Indian authority. They said that African people or international students, they don't go to college, they don't attend to the college. They love, if I can say that, party house, night club, they spend a lot of time in casual things, but they are so rare in college.
Well, as much as I'd like to deny it, it's a fact. I cannot deny it. But I think basically the problem is back in Africa. I'll say, let me just stay in Congo. Back like in Congo, when you are attending the university, it's not compulsory for you to attend your college every day. So most of the people, when they come to India, they come with that mind that, okay, I don't need to go every day. But in India, it's different. In India, your attendance is compulsory. You need to have more than 75% attendance in college before writing your exams or submitting your projects and everything. And back in Africa, people have, if you can allow me to say that, I'll say that we have like an excess of freedom. So when we come to India, it's quite difficult for people to adapt that freedom. We forget that the laws of the land here are different from the laws in our countries. So it takes time, but most of those people are newcomers. With time, they will understand and adjust themselves.
What is your good or bad experience in India?
Well, the good experiences I've got a lot of good experiences in India. If I have to point out one, I'll say the knowledge I've been getting. I have really got a lot of knowledge, and bad experiences, bad happen everywhere. Bad things happens. I will not focus on the discrimination. It's, yes, a bad experience, but it has been a good it has turned to be a good experience. But yeah, I mean, the most important thing I believe is that the good experiences are more than the bad ones.
Okay. You are the president of Congolese community in Pune, but last year it was the worst year for Congolese students. So many arrestations, assassinations, so many bad things happen. So why just Congolese? Why not Arab or I don't know other community? Why just Congolese? Because they are so so barbaric, or they don't know what they want.
No, the problem is, yes, last year was one of the worst years all over India. We faced a lot of problems, but I don't believe that Congolese are not well-mannered or that they're not peaceful people. No, we are. But the problem is, bad things happen. We've got an assassination, we've got a lot of accidents. Accidents happen, we cannot predict it. But the good thing, the main focus is, I think the authorities, the embassy, have been talking to students all over India. This year, so far, it's been 4 months since we started this year. We only had one case of the death of one student. I think it was Bangalore or somewhere around, and it was an accident. So nobody could predict that. But this year will be more positive, I believe. I believe it was just a bad moment for us, but we are recovering from that and things will be better.
So you said about discrimination. Why Indian people they are discriminated just African people or just black skin?
Well,
why not Iranian or other? Why just it must be a reason.
Yes, the reason is basically, I will not say that Indian people are are bad people or they're racist, but the reason is, you easily speak to your kind. So these people are yellow skinned. So when they look at Arabs or Iranians or Europeans, they can somehow relate. According to the skin color, they feel like, okay, we are alike to those people. But when they look at African people or dark-skinned people, they feel like, okay, those people are different. And since we have a huge gap, a huge barrier due to the language, they cannot express themselves, and we cannot sometimes understand what they want or what they're saying. So that's why it most of the time appears as a discrimination. But with time, things will change, because now they used to see a lot of African students around here. And I've been talking to people who are studying in South India. They're really okay there. They don't face discrimination. And I still believe that it's because South Indians are darker than North Indians. So people stick to their kind. But with time, with the evolution of the society in India, things will definitely change.
So let's talk about the language barrier. So why African students, they don't try to learn Hindi, or they don't try to learn local language, Indian local language?
Well, that's, first of all, also it's a choice. It's a matter of choice. And
because I know that back home in Congo, they are speaking mostly Lingala. So if you don't know Lingala, it's so difficult for you to live in DRC. So it's the same also here in India. If you don't know Hindi, or you don't know Marathi, or I don't know which language again, so it's the language will be the barrier. So why not African or international students, they are trying to learn those languages?
Well, it's a matter of choice, but also there is a problem. When people are coming, they're coming to study. That's what they're coming here for. They're telling themselves, okay, I'm going to attend the college. So they put all their efforts in studying English. That's the main thing for them, because they feel like, okay, the books are in English, my teachers will be speaking English, so I need to know English. But people forget also that knowing the local language will help you while roaming around for transportation, in shops. But, the good thing is also Indians are making that effort also to learn English. So at least, everyone should make that effort, and let's meet at the middle, and the middle is English. But those who can spare some time to go learn Hindi and Marathi, that's a great thing, because the more languages you know, the more open you are to the world.
Okay, do you know any Indian language?
I cannot say that I know, because I can't keep a conversation for 1 hour in Hindi. But yes, I understand Hindi properly, though my speaking is average. Marathi, I'm trying. I'm really trying for Marathi, but Hindi, I'm good.
One of the Indian magazines Outlook published that Indian is the head of black skin. So it means like the African people, they are not comfortable in India. Are you comfortable here?
Yes, I'm really comfortable around here. But at some point, yes, I can stick to the conclusion, because when you go to the police or when you meet people, most of the students who are arrested or have problems with the police or with the immigration, most of the time it's Africans. So when you take the numbers, you check, you will see that there are more Africans with issues, legal issues, than Arabs or Iranians. It's not because those people want to be in trouble, but I believe that there is a serious lack of information amongst the African communities. But with with the Arabs and Iranians, Yemenis, all those other countries, they have a flow of information. So I believe that every senior or every one who came before everyone should take care of juniors. At least when you know someone is new, you should try to explain them that, okay, this works like this, you need to go to the police, you need to do this, you can't do this. It's basic things. And the way sometimes the police handles things, yeah, it makes it worse. But we, as if I may say, like for the Congolese community, yeah, we really working on that.
How many Congolese there are here in India?
As per now, I can give you a rough estimation of 85 to 90 in Pune.
Okay, that's huge. What is your project after completing your studies?
After completing my studies, I'd like to go back to my country. I'd like to go back to Congo. And I'll start with finding a good job, but the main purpose will be to open my own company.
That's great. Some advice for international students or African students?
The advice will be to stick to the plan. You know, while coming here, everyone has a plan. We basically all come for studies. So I will just advise people to put and to keep the studies as the main priority, and the rest will follow.
Would you like to work or settle down here in India?
In India, I will not mind, but to tell you the truth, for me to settle or to start working in India, it's all depend on the financial aspect of the job. Because if the salary is not that good, it will be really, really tough for me to live in India. As you know, it's really difficult for foreigners to get small jobs. So I will only stick to that main job I'll have, and it seems to be enough for me to cover all my bills and still have enough to have a decent life.
Let's talk about the job. The way that a student cannot work here, is it good or is it bad? Because you can see in Europe countries, students are allowed to work, but here it's not the case. So is it good or is it bad?
Well, if I have to be in a general aspect, if I have to look at the general aspect of the thing, I'll say that it's bad. It's bad because if students were allowed to have jobs, it will help them to make some extra money, to make their life easier, and it will only benefit the Indian government, because at the end of the day they'll be cutting taxes, and that money will still be spent around here, since foreign students cannot send money abroad also outside India. But when I look at it as, let's say, the perspective or the vision of the Indian government, yes, they're right, because we're talking about a country where they're having 1 billion people, and they're trying to take this country out of poverty. So they somehow have a reason to say that foreigners should not work unless they get a working permit straight from the embassy back in your country. It's just a way for them to secure jobs for Indians themselves, in a way to raise the country and take people out of poverty. So I can understand.
Okay, can you expect any change about the life of students or international students here in India? Something future, something that you want Indian government to change, or
something, if you have to say that something the Indian government will change, yes, I'll start with the cost of education, because I think every 2 years now, the school fees or college fees is going higher. That's not very good, because I don't see why people should pay a lot of money, let's say the same price that I can pay in the UK or in the US, and still don't get the same facilities. Yes, the education is good. The science, basically the science is really good, but the facilities, the campus, the auditoriums and the books, the materials, they still have a huge difference between the Western countries and Asian countries. So they should really mind the fees, and they should really try to upgrade the education, because when you compare European countries and India, you can see that the universities don't have the same ranks. So at the end of the day, we almost paying the same fees and we don't have the same ranks. So it's a disadvantage for people who are in this side.
Okay. Thank you very much, Jimat. So the president of Congolese students, and just try to relate us how the life of international students is here in India. So, bye-bye.